Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. As I said in the previous videos, I have separated the Bitcoin ADA videos. Still do another ADA video later, but separating them will give actually ADA a more prominent place. I think I can focus a little bit more on the indicators, otherwise the videos oftentimes get too long. So I think this is actually better for ADA. So we'll see how after a week, how it actually played out. So at the moment we saw the CPA data being released here, 7.9%. I think it was a bit higher than expected. 7.5% was expected, so it rose a little bit higher. I do expect further increases here in the next month. I think this can go actually a little bit higher. But typically what we see when they are released, I mean, it's crazy numbers anyway, yeah. And I think we are gonna see worldwide more and more difficult times coming upon us, in terms of prices for food and stuff. Here in Europe, wheat prices have gone up massively because Ukraine is one of the biggest wheat producers, for example. Diesel has gone up massively. So all of that coming together there. Crazy times, yeah. Crypto holding well in these times, to be honest. And yeah, the inflation has, with 7.9% is a high as well. Now, as we have already seen it, and I have made the channel members aware in the Telegram live chat, that typically when you see these numbers release, then you see a little bit of volatility for the first couple of hours. That is exactly what we have seen in the last few weeks as well when that happened. So last few months, I mean. And here you can see exactly that volatility. There are bots at play. There are people at play who make some short-term profits, and some people lose, of course. And you can see that volatility here. So that is purely related to the CPI data release. And what we need to be aware of that here, nothing unusually is happening here. Everything is moving in the range of the expectations here. There is no breakout or anything. We are still moving in this range that we have identified. And anything in here is, of course, possible. And also extremely hard to forecast. We can't talk about what is happening when we break out of this scenario. We know what happens when we are in this scenario, which is just that up and down, and you get these irrational daily volatility of maybe 10%. That is absolutely possible in the crypto market. It's still not enough money in the crypto market to make it more stable, but the volatility is exactly what we like in crypto, and how money can be made. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be able to make money in the short term. So yesterday we talked about Bitcoin rolling over and dropping. Now that is exactly what happened. We even came a bit lower than I thought we would. Showed you earlier today that where we currently are is an important support level. So again, we're not really dropping below it. We are holding that support level because it was an important support level I showed you this morning here on the VPVR. You can see exactly that. We're just holding above this peak on the VPVR indicator at 39k. That is why we're dancing on that level currently here. If you break that, you can expect here a significant decrease all the way down to 37.5 to that support level there, that ascending support line here in white. Okay, so that is a very important level to watch out for. What do I expect generally? Primary expectation is still that we get a further sell-off done here, that we break below 34.5k, which is, where is that level? That level is down here. That swing low here. And that we get our primary expectation fulfilled, which would mean a price down into the target area below 29k. My target area ranges between 29 and 20k. The ideal level for that would be 27.5k. That's the 61.8% FIB level. But as I've shown you before, I mean, there is no guarantee we wouldn't drop below that target area. But I'm very, very certain we're going to get into this target area. Even in the alternative scenario that I showed you, we are getting into this target area eventually. The alternative is if we break above 46.5k up here, that you're then going to make another, probably what can you do then in this scenario? You break out and you get you at least 20% upside, maybe all the way up to 35% upside to 65k, before you would then, however, turn down. And the advantage is of this alternative scenario that, profits could be taken. People who missed out taking profits up here, they could take profits and then buy back lower. That is my strategy, what I would do. And also I would open a long position above 46.5k. So we are ready for both scenarios. We see this ascending triangle here currently. I mean, that could mean that we are actually breaking out to the upside. But again, before it actually happens, we cannot be sure. We cannot be certain. And the indicators would certainly support some more upside. We took a look at that in the last few days, 4-day chart. You can see that the negative momentum is consequently reduced. And we even now, and that happened Is that happened today? No, I think we had that before. We have that bullish crossover still at play here on the 4-day chart, and the weekly is consequently reducing negative momentum. So all of that would support further increasing prices. But at the moment, we are in sideways movement. So we really have to be patient and have to watch the chart. And I'm paying close attention to it, so don't worry. But yeah, on the daily chart, we can see that we again have negative momentum build them up. And it gets more likely the lower we go here, that we're actually breaking this support to the downside. Someone recently told me that it's actually quite likely that we actually break above here or break to the upside, because we have tested this resistance level now a few times. And the more often you test it, the more likely it gets that you break up. And to be honest, that is, yes, true. The more often you break you test a resistance, the more likely it is that you break it. But on the other hand, you also tested this support a few times, this ascending support line. So it is in the end for me 50-50 what's happening from here. At the moment, if we take a look at the more imminent price chart, yes, we can make assumptions. On the 1 hour chart, you're again oversold. Yeah, absolutely. The MACD is also turning rather bullish again. The 1 hour chart stochastic RSI has been low very long now. So after this sell-off from yesterday, that I forecasted here, I would rather expect here a little bit of a move to the upside again, maybe all the way up to that previous resistance here at 40.8K. And again, we can take a look at the VPVR. Does that align? Yes, you have here a peak at 40.8K. Then you've got the next peak at 41.5K, okay, where you would expect resistance. But again, all of that is just, can't really, it's all just the small volatility within the daily, day-to-day stuff that crypto is doing. And until we really get a confirmed breakout, and to get a breakout, we need to either break here to the downside of that support level at 37.5K or to the upside 45.5K at least. Only then I would talk about a breakout. Everything else, 10% moves in here, yeah, they haven't played out before. They are part of this triangle at the moment in which we currently are. So yeah, we need to be more patient. What I can tell you that probably already now, or maybe in the next hour or so, that volatility from today from the CPI data is already over. What could be interesting when the stock markets open, how they react. Yeah, how they react. And again, sorry, we could see here a little bit of volatility, but yeah, there isn't. It hasn't been a major surprise what we've seen here today. And just looking briefly maybe at the S&P 500, because I know a lot of people are actually interested in that. What's happening here? Well, we are actually doing here what so far. This is the Elliott Wave count. By the way, we talked about the potential that we're coming down once more here in a wave 5. This could have been the low. We talked about it. And from now, I do expect rising prices. We talked about that. I think that wave 5 scenario here of another move down is probably less likely now that we have moved above this wave 4 high. So we could possibly already talk about a breakout here of the S&P 500. You could see this maybe as a bull flag, and we have broken out above the wave 4. Could see that as wave 5 then, just a shorter wave 5, and you're already starting now your new uptrend with the S&P 500. Based on that, you could expect now higher prices. So that low that I talked about in my last video about the S&P 500, and also the charts that I posted above the S&P 500, they basically talked about rising prices for the S&P 500 that is currently playing out. What was not allowed to be broken was the $4,100 level, and it did hold, which is fantastic. You had the FIBs here. Yeah, that's what we talked about, I think, when I showed it you the last time. It did reach exactly the 88.7% FIB level. And from here we are starting our move up. And maybe that was already here the wave 3. That was maybe the wave 4, 5 or something. Would need to look at that in detail. But in the end, I think we can confirm now that we have a breakout here, and I'll take a closer look at the S&P 500 in a separate video. Probably get that done tomorrow or so on my second channel, and you can find the link to the second channel in the video description. But based on this, what we could be seeing here is now that this was already a wave 1 again. This could be a wave 2 now, and this can come down lower. Yeah, for the S&P 500, and that would be an indicator of, you know, if we see some volatility today, certainly you can come down in such a wave 2 here. Certainly to 4,200 would be the next support level. That's a 61.8% fib level, or to 4,180 before you then start to move up higher. So generally what I would expect here, as you know, for Bitcoin is more volatility anyway, but generally my primary expectation remains a sell-off into my target area. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm, very important. And if you really like the content, yeah, then check out the channel membership, and there you can get access to the Discord server with a lot of additional content, the Telegram live chat, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.